go. There we go. Hello. It's good to connect.
Thank you, doctor.
It's my pleasure. Now tell me about you. What's going on? How long you been having back pain? It's the low back?
It's a low back, sir. If I can make a long story short, my pain started December 10th at 4 o'clock in the morning, believe it or not. I was reaching over just to turn on my bathtub water, to turn on the shower.
Wow.
Didn't even happen. I just reached, bent over, and I heard a pretty good loud popping noise. And a chain of electricity went from my toes all the way to my butthole,
On the right or the left?
Okay.
Or both?
On the right.
On the right only.
On the right side.
Okay.
And then it took me to the floor, and I literally had to crawl to my room. I was stumbling, walking, like trickle walking, wasn't able to pick up my feet completely for about a good day and a half. That day, I did go to the ER, and they took just a regular X-ray, and they showed some type of a mild degenerating of my bones. And that was it. And they let me go on my way. But I was in pain still. Then I started developing not only more back pain lower, but the sciatica on my right buttocks going down to my knee, not yet to past my knee. Moving forward now, I have back pain on my right side going down to my calf numbness. Yesterday was one of my biggest flare-ups. Yesterday, I almost went to the ER because of extreme pain. And I fought it through because I knew I was going to have a meeting with you today. So I got the MRI done. I just got desperate. My primary doctor is out of the country right now. So I self-advocated for myself, went to a chiropractor / and he ordered an MRI, looked at it. Then from there, I connected to a spine surgeon. Again, this is out of me, just with no referrals. She just looked at my films 2 days ago, and without really getting technical with me, she just says, "Well, I'm going to order an epidural on you for next week." And I go, "Well, are you sure? Because I've been hearing that tear that I have right there, the epidural is not going to work." And I have a feeling, again, I'm not trying to self-diagnose myself, and I'm trying to explain my symptoms. And I go, "I believe that the tear is a reason of my pain, even though I show other stuff going on. But something in my body, something in my mind is telling me that tear is probably one of the root causes of my burning sensation of my buttocks, not able to sit down for a long period of time, not able to walk probably no more than 3 blocks to say without needing to stop, because I start feeling weakness and numbness behind my calves, both calves. But that's where I'm at right now, doctor. I'm extremely scared because, as everybody else, I doctor shop online. I'm looking symptoms, and they say that's the worst thing you can do. And I'm not getting no proper diagnosis what's going on and what proper treatment I should do. I'm not getting no type of realistic answers. So I came across your channel, and I said, wow. I was just taken back, and I did everything in my power to try to reach out to you, and I'm glad that I was able to.
I'm really glad you did too. We can help. I'm so glad you're here. So what I want to do, if it's okay, Danny, is ask you some clarifying questions, and then I want to show you your MRI, so we'll have both a shared understanding of exactly what's wrong, and then we can kind of march through what the proper options are for treatment. Is that okay?
Thank you. Absolutely.
Okay, couple questions, and then we'll get into the meat of what the actual problem is. Is the pain now, is it mostly in the leg or mostly in the low back?
Both.
It's both, and it's one thing. You don't have leg pain without back pain, and you don't have back pain without leg pain. It's all one kind of thing.
Yesterday and today is both. The day before that, it was mainly the sciatica.
Yeah.
with mainly sciatica. The back pain diminished with mainly sciatica. But
And
yesterday and today, oh,
just so we're on the same page, sciatica means the pain shooting down the leg on the right side only.
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. Very good. Now, are you standing up right now?
Yes, I am.
Can I ask you to do some real simple stuff? First,
Yes.
I want you to go up on your tippy toes as high as you can so your heels are off the ground. And what I'm looking for is, are you able to do that on both sides? And Danny, I understand you're in pain. If any of this hurts, don't marine your way through this. Talk to me and tell me if it hurts. We're going to
I can
figure
do it right
something
now.
else. Okay. Can you get
Let
up
me just,
on?
can I put one hand on the wall?
Yeah, absolutely.
I am on both my tippy toes right now, and I'll show you.
Okay, let's see. Got it. Okay. Now we're going to do the opposite, and you may need more than the wall to hold on to, but let's see if the wall's enough. We're going to go back, toes off the ground, so you're standing on your heels, and then I'm going to want you to try to walk on your heels, but keeping your toes off the ground.
Okay. Toes facing up, and I'm walking completely. My toes are facing up, and they're not touching the ground at all, sir.
On both
I'll show
feet,
you right now.
on your right foot too, it's off the ground. Yes, it is. Okay, excellent. Okay, now, are you numb in your big toe on the right foot?
No, sir.
Okay,
No,
excellent.
no, no, no.
Excellent. Okay, and that's all the clarifying. I assume you're not having any bowel or bladder control issues, that everything's working and that you're not numb in the groin area.
No, no. I go poop good, urinate
Good.
good, and
Okay, now I'm going to make yourself comfortable, either standing up or sitting down, whatever works. I'm going to put your MRI on the screen, and you may need to adjust your phone in order to see this. So tell me if I need to give you a minute, or can you see the MRI?
got it, sir. I see completely.
Okay, excellent.
Yes, sir.
Can you see this arrow moving around?
I do.
Okay, this is your back. Like if you put your hand on your hip and your thumb touching your spine, your thumb would be right here. And then
I'm doing it.
the way this image is, this is going up toward your head and this is going down toward your bum. And if we went
Okay.
straight in from your thumb, we would be at the level of the L4-5 disc.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be important in a second. Now, in this image, the white is the spinal fluid inside your spinal canal. And these lines, this is your spinal cord that ends up here. And then there are nerve roots which come down and float in this fluid. These square guys that look like blocks are the bones of the spine. And then these dark things, cushions in between the blocks, are the vertebrae. This is a good, healthy, normal disc here. This one's got some degeneration. What I want to show you is on this one, see where the bone ends, there's a little dark where the disc slightly bulges, but it's pretty much
Yes, doctor.
the disc ends flush with the back of the bone. This one's a little worse. The disc bulges out a little bit. This one looks a little worse. But as we go out to your right side, this disc is sticking way out and it's compressing the hole that the nerve goes in right there. This is what a nerve root should look like. It should look like a comma. See, the bottom of your comma is surrounded by this herniated disc. That's a lateral disc herniation. There's another way to look at this that I'm going to show you now. And I know this is a little bit technical, but it's going to be worth it. The orange, the green line here shows the plane that this section is in. So as we can then move down through your spine, and at the L4-5 level, this is your, at the L3-4 level, this is your spinal canal, and these are the holes that the nerve roots go out of right there. They're a little bit narrow. That's just part, you're a little narrowed down. This is a triangle. If I would have done this MRI, Danny, when you were 17, it would have been more like a circle. That's normal aging, but you have a little bit of what they call congenital stenosis. You had a narrow spinal canal that's gotten a little narrow, more narrow with age. But as we come down on this level, right here, this disc is sticking out all the way out here, and it's closing off entirely the hole that the nerve root would have gone out of. And it's doing that entirely on that right side. So see how this is white, but this is
Yes,
dark.
doctor.
This is dark. The reason that's
Yes.
dark is because there's disc out there pushing on that nerve root, and it's pushing a lot.
Is that what's causing my pain?
That's what's causing your pain.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't even sit. I can't even sit more than. If I have to drive, I'm forcing myself with one butt cheek off my seat, and I literally got to pull over probably every 15 to 20 minutes to get to a destination that's only an hour away.
I believe it. 'Cause, I mean,
Yes, doctor.
it makes perfect sense. There is something else we could see there for another day. There's also swelling of the joint on that side. So I feel like you're blessed that you haven't had a lot of back problems up to this point. Is that true, by the way? Have you had a lot of back problems off and on, or not really?
No. I'm going to be, God willing, I'm going to be 49 years old on, and me being a painting contractor and being in the trades, I want to say since 1989.
Oh yeah.
No falls, no nothing. I mean, but I've lifted ladders, I've rolling. I mean, a painting contractor. I mean, lifting 5-gallon buckets, which weigh anywhere between 55 and 75 pounds each one. Doing a fireman carry. Yeah, and I was doing that. I was doing that up until, I mean, I am lucky I have my employees do it now, but lifting 5-gallon buckets, I was doing that a week prior of my fall at December 10th.
And you will be good to go back to your life again. I can tell you something about you that you may or may not know right now, but I worked construction electrician's apprentice when I was in college. I get what a painting contractor is and what it's like and how hard it is. And I've spent my whole career taking care of people, men who build things. It's very hard on your body. It's just the way that it is.
Oh my gosh.
And it's some women too. I don't know how they do it, but some women too.
I have 2 women on my staff right now.
Right.
One's my secretary, and one that she just wants to be out in the field with the guys.
Good for her.
She works hard.
Yeah, man.
And I commend her.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. There's some of these women are just tough as nails. But good for her. But
she's tougher than.
But you, my friend, you have a high pain tolerance because there's a lot of things on your MRI that would have been painful for other people over the years. You're the boss, applesauce. You've been doing your thing. Your body has been used to taking a beating. This is the way it's been for you, but you have a high pain tolerance. You didn't feel it, maybe, but it was there. And now it demands to be seen because it's a herniated disc. That pop you felt was the tearing of the outer membrane of the disc. And then that pain is the irritation. Let me see if I can bring up real quick. I want to show you a video that really kind of demonstrates this.
Take your time, doctor, please.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. Okay, are you seeing right now my screen with this big white donut looking thing and the yellow nerve coming across? Oh no, I'm not sharing with you. Hold on. Hold on.
Take your time, sir.
Yeah, I'll get it. Man, these new technologies are just awesome.
But, and I'm learning myself.
Yeah, it's all there. Okay, you should see my screen here in a second. You there?
I do, doctor.
Okay.
I do, doctor.
I'm going to show, this is a video, but I've got it paused. So let me set you up to see what's going on here. This is the disc, this white area. And your disc has got 2 parts. It's got this hard outer part and then this soft inner part. This is the nerve root, which is going to came out of your spinal canal. And it's got all the nerve fibers that are going to go down your leg and form the sciatic nerve. You with me?
I'm with you, doctor. I see it completely. Thank you.
Okay, this is the normal situation. Now let's watch what happens.
Okay. Oh.
This is what was, now this is not what happened in December. This happened a long time ago, that this annulus is bulging out and it's displacing this nerve. You didn't feel this. You didn't feel this, but we're gonna get to your pop here in a second.
Ooh, that looks extremely painful. Oh, that I felt that.
Yes, sir. This was, what was it, December 12th?
10th.
leaning over the bathroom. It was the straw
Yeah.
that broke the camel's back. Danny, if it hadn't been that bath, it would have been something else, but it wasn't, that didn't do it. That was just the little tiny last little bridge of connection broke with that faint movement. But what happened was this soft part, which is supposed to be inside, is now pumping against the nerve. And when it
Ooh.
does that, it doesn't belong there and your body doesn't know what it is. And so it causes this very intense swelling of the nerve and then irritation of the nerve. That red is what you feel going down your leg. There's nothing actually
Oh my
going down
God.
your leg. It's that inflammation is what you've got going on. Let's watch
Oh
it
my
one more.
God.
Let's watch it one more time so you can get a sense of it. Annulus, bulges, and then something happens, pop, breaks, disc herniates out, then it's putting pressure and swelling on that nerve root, causing sciatica, which is due to the inflammation. That's why the sciatica probably got worse a day or two after you felt the pop. It starts out as the compression of the nerve, and then it's the irritation of the nerve root that causes the sciatic pain.
My gosh, doctor, if I may say this, prior to the pop, not only did I feel it, and I don't know if you had patients that told you, I actually heard it. It was like that. I mean, that if I can mimic it, it's
Right.
just like that. And I said, "Oh my gosh!" I actually felt my I thought I broke my. I thought my torso left my waist, or I thought yeah.
Your brain has never experienced anything like what happened.
Never.
And so your brain's trying to make sense of it. And I get this a lot. I heard it, I felt it, my whole world, that pain into the rectal area. Your brain is like, what
Yes.
in the world? It's trying to make sense out of it. That's where all those nerves go down there. So it's trying to figure out
It's
what
like-
happened.
It's like I'm 5'11", and it's like someone just put their hands on my shoulder and said, "You're not 5'11" right now. I'm going to put you to the ground,"
Right.
and crumbled me. Pop, floor. That's what happened. And pain. It just shot up everywhere.
Yeah.
Prior to that, maybe 6 months prior to that, I was showing a little bit. I didn't pay no attention of like a sciatica in my leg 6 months prior. I said, okay, it came and went, and went.
Right.
But now it's just constant right now.
Yeah. Probably what happened 6 months ago was the thing popped open, and then when you turned, you twisted enough that the soft part squeezed right out that hole, and that nerve root said, "I don't like that. Stop." And that's that horrific reaction of pain. That's your body trying to tell you, "Hey, Danny, hit the brakes. Something's wrong," and something is wrong. And what that something wrong shows up perfectly on your MRI. The MRI shows the problem on the right side, the disc herniations, the pains on the right side. The MRI shows the herniated disc is the L4-5. That's along with the L5S1, 8 out of 10. That's the one that goes. So it's 100% making sense. There's more than one thing in the back. There's other discs that are a little narrow. There's some swollen joints. All those things may be contributing, but none of those things are new. What's new most likely is the herniated disc. So you're right, and your doctor was right, that chiropractor, to say, "Danny, your problem is the herniated disc with sciatica." That is the issue that we're facing.
Now, I'm so scared right now because I am a single dad of a 19-year-old, autistic, high-function autistic, and I can't even help him. I have him at his mom's house, but he generally lives with me, and I can't have him. My New Year's was in the hospital with him because he had a bowel obstruction,
Oh,
4
geez.
days.
I'm sorry.
And I was sitting on a chair in the ER for, I want to say, off and on for 16 hours. And I gave them the most major flare-up. But at the end of the day, my fear is that I'm a single daddy. I own my own painting business, and I can't function. And I'm scared that I can't even do my day-to-day operations as a father and as a business owner, because I take care of families. My employees are family to me, and I take care of their families, and I can't even do that. And, it makes me cry right now because I'm at home right now, and I can't even be in my office and making sure and do my day-to-day operations. I can't even go to a store and pick up a case of bottled water because I know that I'm going to hurt myself even more, and it hurts me right now.
I want to tell you something, and then we're going to go through your options, okay? You're going to be okay. You're going to be the angel taking care of your autistic son. You're going to be the boss man leading this company. You're going to be okay. Because how do I know? Because I've seen this movie before. I know how this ends. And this ends with you being okay. It's that pain is telling you, it's trying to warn you, Danny, something's wrong. Danny's, okay, we get it. Something's wrong. But it doesn't stop because it's right on the nerve. Your body's not set up for this. It scares the bejesus out of you. It makes you see the future and see no future. That's the reaction to the pain, which is part of the alarm process. But Danny, you're going to be okay. I've seen this movie before and I know how it ends. It's actually very simple. The odds are overwhelmingly in your favor. 95+% of people who have what you have get completely better within not 12 minutes, not 12 days, not 12 hours, 12 weeks. 95% of people get better, but it takes sometimes 12 weeks, and you are in week 3.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Okay, so here's where we are. We're running a marathon here, buddy. We're 1/4 of the way to 12 weeks, where we know the odds are overwhelming that 12 weeks from now we're going to be okay, but we're not okay now. And so we got to decide right now, what are we going to do? And what I'm about to list for you are the options. And thank goodness there's only 3, because with all this stuff racing through our minds, I can't take care of my son, I can't be a man, I can't be a boss. It's hard enough, right? But there's only 3 options, and it's very clear based on certain features what the best option is for you. So let me help you pick. Option number 1 is do nothing. It's not a very attractive option because it hurts like heck, but it's kind of good in the sense that there's no risk. You don't have any functional numbness or weakness. You do have unbearable pain. You've been in the ER for your son, but of the 3 things we look at, unbearable pain, functional numbness, functional weakness, you were able to walk on your toes. This disc, it's actually walking on your heels. You're able to do it. So you've got good motor strength. So we don't need to do anything. Option 1 is to do nothing. Even doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, but it means there is an option of just waiting this out. Option number 2 is to get an epidural injection. That's what the chiropractor said. In particular, epidural injections come in 2 flavors. They're not chocolate and vanilla. They're interlaminar, where they put the needle between the lamina. Hold on.
Take your time, sir.
This is a model of the spine. This bone, this is the one, by the way, this is the enemy. I shouldn't say the enemy because it's part of your body. This is the guy who's doing it right here. Thank you. Thanks, but no thanks. That's the hole where the nerve root comes out. That's the nerve root that's letting you know your life is miserable. So there's 2 ways they could do this epidural injection. They can put the needle there under the lamina. That's not really where your problem is. Your problem is out here in the foramen. The other way they can do it is to come from the side and put the needle out here. And that's called a transforaminal epidural steroid injection, TFESI. And that would be the next treatment most people would recommend for you. So that doctor did a terrible job of explaining it, but they were right.
Yes. I wasn't even 5 minutes. She looks at the screen. She spoke like 5 minutes and said, okay, you're going to get epidural next week. And I'm like,
what?
Why? Where? Why?
Yeah. Epidural is very safe. It's a routine procedure. Just like driving to the procedure, is there a possibility there will be an earthquake and your car will fall off a bridge? Yeah, but it's not a very big possibility. There is a San Andreas fault, but it's probably not going to go on the. It could happen, but probably not. Is there a possibility that when they do the injection, it could cause a stroke? to the nerves, there's a possibility, but it's minimal. Could that cause paralysis? It could. Have I ever seen it? Yeah, I've seen it. But would I have an epidural if I needed one? I would, because I think that risk is so low. So yeah, it's a possibility, but it's extremely, extremely low. On the other hand, one thing that's a certainty is it doesn't last very long. The epidural relieves the drug in there, the steroid that they inject is good for about 100 hours. So 3.5 days or so, or I'm sorry, just over 4 days. Not forever, but oftentimes, remember that red in that animation? If you can get that to calm down, oftentimes we're okay. So when patients have no functional numbness or weakness and the pain is bearable, then an option is transforaminal epidural injection. So that's your option 1. Option 2 is a surgery called microdiscectomy. That's where they go in, they take out that disc, and they open up that space where the nerve root is. Microdiscectomy surgery is very effective. It works stops the radiating pain almost every time. But if you look at the surgery versus no surgery, if you randomize, flip a coin, Danny, surgery, Fanny, no surgery, next guy, no, randomize them. When you look at those two groups over 2 years, they're the same. So the surgical people got better faster, but they had surgery. Whereas the non-surgical people got better anyway, but they didn't have surgery. So if you said to me, I don't have any employees, 6, by the time I get to 12 weeks, I'm not going to have any business. I'm dead. I would say get the surgery. It's your quickest, surest way back. You've got a little cushion, it sounds like. You've got, if you could make it to that, and by the way, the pain could stop tomorrow, right?
I'm very blessed and lucky that I have a staff and I have employees. I'm very blessed in that area. Is my business going to go out of business in 6 months from now if I don't show my face in the office? No, I mean, it's going to dampen the morale of my company because, we're family there. But if you told me, Danny, I suggest that if you can hack the pain and take your medicine, what you're doing, and not the epidural, and don't get a procedure done, but just be very careful and just be patient, I would do that. If that was some type of light at the end of the tunnel, I won't even go with I won't even do my epidural next week, because if it's only going to give me more or less between 100 hours or so, it doesn't make any sense to me, because even though I'm in great pain, it doesn't make no sense for me to go to that procedure if it's going to give me 3-4 days or even a week of no pain.
Yeah, and that's all it does, for sure. So, I think in your case, the matrix, we call it the treatment matrix, no functional numbness or weakness, bearable pain, epidural's an option, surgery's not recommended. Epidural's an option if you want to, and you obviously, we can tell from your MRI, you've got this super high pain tolerance. Gut it out, my man. There's nothing wrong with that. Steroids are steroids in your body. That's a chemical in your body. If you can get by without that, that's way better. Now, over-the-counter anti-inflammatories are very helpful. NSAIDs like Aleve or ibuprofen. It's the same thing as the steroid. It's an anti-inflammatory, but it's very hard on the stomach. So take Pepcid, acid or Prilosec, acid blocker, not Tums. Pepcid or Prilosec. They're medicines that stop your body from making the acid that protects you in a large way against ulcers. So if you're going to take anti-inflammatories, it makes sense to take them around the clock. That inflammation is in there 24/7. We want it to go away. So maybe 3 Aleve. Have you ever taken an anti-inflammatory like Aleve or?
I am currently on right now. They gave me Celebrex and gabapentin.
Yeah, don't do the gabapentin.
I didn't take it. They gave it to me. I said, no, man.
No, man.
I'm not the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too psychoactive. It's been studied for this problem. It doesn't work. The two things that give you relief are anti-inflammatories. That's the best, but they can cause the ulcers and other issues. You got to be on top of it. Anti-inflammatories, And then muscle relaxants, maybe. I think in your case, it's more the anti-inflammatories. Don't take the Neurontin. Forget that stuff. It's
No.
crazy. Yeah, it's junk.
I won't, doctor.
Celebrex is
A day
great.
okay.
Celebrex is great. How many milligrams do you have?
200 milligrams twice a day.
Yeah.
Once in the afternoon and once at night.
Yeah, and I would say if you have a flare-up of pain, you can also take a lever ibuprofen in addition, as long as you're doing something to protect the stomach.
Yes, the
So,
antacid.
yeah. The Pepcid or Prilosec, they're acid blockers. They don't just neutralize the acid; they prevent your body from making it. So, and you don't have any heart problems.
No.
Yeah, you're good. Okay,
I
so
have heartache when I'm going through, but not heart problems.
yeah, I would have heartache too. I don't blame you. So yeah, so I think that's the way to go. I mean, I think in your case, the matrix, the best option is wait and see. And then, you got to remember things change. I would mark, that December 12th date, mark on your calendar, 12 weeks from them is January, February, March 12th. So mark on March 12th. If we're still dealing with this nonsense on March 12th, maybe it's time to have the surgery. I mean, this can't go on for the rest of your life. You got stuff to do.
No.
You say they're not going to miss you at work, and that means you have confidence in your team, but they are going to miss you at work. You're the leader of that company. You're going to need to be back there at some point. So, and your son depends on you. You're an angel. You got stuff. Life depends on you, not just being present, but being a caretaker for others.
Absolutely.
And
doctor, I can't even go on. I mean, I know your time is very limited right now, but I'm really the only person in my son's life as I'm the caretaker, and beyond that is,
You're the man.
That's another story, like you said.
You're the man. Nothing wrong with that. That's the meaning of life, in my opinion. That's the meaning of the whole thing, man. That's the meaning of it. So the way making the world a better place, helping others, that's what you're here to do, and you're doing it. But this darn disc is making it hard. So, but it's going to be okay. And
exactly.
Yeah, I think we should go with that.
That tear. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. That tear that I have going on, I should be very careful. So it's the bulge, that stuff that's sleeping, that jelly stuff sleeping out. That's 100% of my issue right there.
100%.
And then I have a good chance, a very high chance of healing in the weeks to come.
Yes, sir. Your body's going to reabsorb. That tear is going to heal, but it takes 6 to 12 weeks, and we're only in a fourth of the way through the healing process.
And that tear right there will actually heal itself too, as well, in that time frame.
It's hard for the tear to heal when the yellow stuff, the soft stuff, the jelly, when that's in there, makes it hard for the ends to get back. So your body's got to dissolve off those ends, and that absorbing and that inflammation, that's what hurts, but it's also what heals.
Right. Wow. So just wait, be patient, try to be as strong as possible, and just patience is key. And I got to say one thing is, like, just like everybody else, when I worry, it brings on, if my feng shui is not aligned, like they say, my body's whack and unbalanced, and then I will intensify my pain. I mean, even though it's at a 5, 6, 7, it's like I'm throwing these more pain at my body, and then it gives it 2 or 3 more fold on top of that.
You have access to a hot soak, like a jacuzzi or a pool that's heated or anything?
Yeah.
That's the very best. What you want is movement with moist heat. So you can get into alignment, but without gravity pushing on that disc. And so moist heat, anti-inflammatory medications. Chiropractic is usually not as helpful in this phase as just rest and muscle massage. Acupuncture works for some people. It's not, some people not at all. Honestly, it's about as good as the anti-inflammatory meds. So moist heat, the anti-inflammatory meds, get in the water and walk in the water. So you don't want to become a couch potato. You want to stay mobile on those joints. Yeah. Keep your shoulders moving. Keep your body going, but in water if you can. And
I can't even sit down too much. I'm standing right now. I limit my sitting, and I thought a pretty good comfortable couches as I say right now, but I can't even sit down on them. I'm like standing 6, 7, 8 hours a day at home. And the only time I really sit is when I'm in the car.
Try to get in some water. Try to get in some water.
Okay. What do you think about, and again, this is me just being that person looking online. What do you think about those decompression stuff? Anything that you stay away from that decompression machines? You know, you hear like the.
I love them, but not for this.
Okay.
The herniated disc needs to heal. Remember we talked about that joint swelling? They're great for that.
Yes.
They're great for that.
Yeah.
But if you get on one of those things right now, you are good. If you've never felt pain in your life like you would feel when you invert, the disc is going to squeeze up against the. Don't do it. Not right now.
Okay. Yeah, I you hear this. Oh, this is a miracle, and I'm just reading, and I'm like, no, I need to speak to a professional.
It is a miracle,
Yes.
but not for what's wrong with you. Yeah.
Okay. Doctor, you are amazing.
Hey, man.
Yes.
It's good to meet another Dan. And we'll follow up with you, see how you're doing in a few weeks, okay?
Would you please? And if there's anything I can do
what you need to do is
for your
rest.
channel,
You're the angel. Rest and take care of yourself. And thank you for watching. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
God bless
Happy New
you
Year's.
too. You too. Happy New Year, Danny. It hasn't been a happy end, so it's going to be better. I promise.
Thank you, sir.
Talk to you soon.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
If you have a question you would like answered on Best Practice Live, click the link to our website and complete the submission form. The more information you can give us, the better we can answer your question. So please contact us and we can walk you through uploading your imaging to a secure server. Please like and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with information about your spine and joint health.